Okay. There's a chair. Imagine your day-to-day life. You may be grocery shopping, walking the dog, going to work, anything you can think of, but suddenly you're filled with this overwhelming sense of fear. Your heart's racing, you're sweating, you can't catch your breath, you don't know what's happening. Well, you along with millions, this is what a panic attack looks like. And with the right criteria from the DSM-5, one panic attack could lead to the diagnosis of a panic disorder, as long as you have the right criteria, of course. So, but first of all, what is panic disorder? Well, as defined by the DSM-5, it is recurrent, unexpected panic attacks. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to be talking about, Over the next few minutes, I'll be discussing panic disorder. I'll cover its history, symptoms, criteria, prevalence, cost, causes, and available treatments as of now. I'll also be sharing a case study of a 22-year-old man who was initially misdiagnosed with epilepsy and did not receive the right treatment. So to fully understand panic disorder, we must trace its evolution. The earliest descriptions of panic disorder are from 1772, and it was not formally recognized until 1980 in the DSM-3. Before it was known as panic disorder, it was first known as panophobia. And as defined by the Oxford Dictionary in 1781, it is all fearing or groundless fears, which makes sense for the psychologists back then, as they didn't really know the causes of this. So it makes sense. Panophobia first originated from a French psychologist, Boisier de Sauvages. In his medical nosology, he had 4 divisions of panophobia. One of these was panophobia hysterica. And this is defined as panic terrors caused by vapors. Subjects with this would experience a unexpected sudden fright, and it would be met with a racing heart. So later, Sigmund Freud, we know him, he would redefine this into anxiety neurosis in his 1895 article, which is on the screen. As we know Freud, his ideas are very original. I'm only be talking about how we describe the symptom, and that is anxiety expectation, which is a very close criteria to what our modern criteria of this is. Latching on to symptoms, in the DSM-1 in 1952, anxiety reactions is defined as when anxiety was diffuse or neither restricted to situations or objects. So even closer to the modern definition, but just not quite there yet. Finally, in 1980, anxiety neurosis was split into generalized anxiety disorder and panic disorder. So it finally was in the DSM, but it wasn't formally given its own chapter until later revisions. As history advanced, the criteria for panic disorder did as well. In the DSM-5, 4 criteria must be met to be formally diagnosed. The first one is 4 of 13 physical symptoms must be present. An example is accelerated heart rate. This is actually the most common symptom that people will take to be evaluated for this diagnosis. The second one is a panic attack must be followed by 1 month or more of persistent worry, or there must be a significant change in behavior. 3, said panic attacks is not due to any form of substance or medical condition. 4, there is no better explanation of said disturbance by other mental disorders. So, PD, panic disorder, is definitely one of the most debilitating of the anxiety disorders. And provided by SAVO, the rates in the US range from 1.1 to 3.7, and in the clinical setting, 3.0 to 8.3. Panic disorder affects women almost twice as often as men. PD, panic disorder, can develop at any stage in life, and as studied by Olea, is most likely to take place mid to late 20s. That's when it's most likely to begin. People with panic disorder are more likely to miss school or work, which can lead to unemployment. No good, no bueno. This is actually due to medical visits, as panic disorder is the most commonly reported anxiety disorder to be, medical visits. While suicide is not directly linked to panic disorder, a mortality rate study held by Meyer and others found that the mortality rate of people diagnosed with anxiety disorders was contrastively higher than the general population. They also found that of the unnatural deaths, 16.5 of them had comorbid diagnosis of depression. So given the impact of panic disorder, it's important to look at what causes it. At the core of any anxiety disorder is stress. according to Barlow, everyone has some sort of predetermined level of vulnerability to stress, whether it's a small daily hassle like a traffic jam or a chronic stressor like divorce. Any sort of stress can like set that off. It doesn't need to be a big one, or it doesn't need to be huge and dramatic. Barlow will also talk about cues. An internal cue is when you feel those physical symptoms like sweating or your heart rate's going up. And some people will associate those symptoms with having another attack. An external cue is like where you were when your first panic attack happened. You may have been in the school cafeteria. You're nervous. It happened, so now you don't want to go to the cafeteria because you're scared it's going to happen again. That's your external cue. Barlow says that people who are more sensitive to these cues are actually more likely to develop panic disorder. About 8 to 12% of Americans experience panic attacks on a reoccurring basis, but only 5% actually develop into panic disorders. So the treatment for panic disorder is, medication and therapy. With medication, a common one is benzodiazepines, which is supposed to slow brain activity, or it can be SSRIs or SNRIs like Prozac and Paxil. It's very effective, but there are side effects. For example, 75% of people taking SSRIs experience sexual dysfunction. And Xanax is also a very commonly prescribed medication for panic disorder, but it has addictive qualities, which is why it's not recommended long-term. As recorded by Barlow, 60% of patients report fewer attacks when taking medication regularly, but many do not finish treatment, which leads to a very high relapse rate of 90%. So therapy is another beneficial treatment. Cognitive behavioral therapy, I'm just going to call it CBT, is a method used to change negative thought patterns and develop healthy coping skills. Under CBT is PCT, panic control treatment. This is a treatment meant to gradually expose patients to triggers while they're learning calming techniques like meditation. My M words got mixed up. According to Zitgraph, PCT sessions can typically last 40 to 50 minutes over a 12 to 15 week timeline. Relapse rates are very low, so this is a definitely good treatment to go over. PCT requires a specialized therapist, which can make it less accessible, as that can be hard to come by, especially in rural areas. But proven by Efron, remote therapy is just as effective, if not even more effective, as it reaches a bigger crowd. So treatments can be definitely diverse. Which one is better? Which one do I take? Well, the National Institute of Mental Health found that all forms of treatment are equally effective. But in their study, where they had 5 groups of combined and separate treatments, they found that the group that only received therapy they were least likely to relapse. So conclusively, experts suggest medication should be a last resort for people who cannot get therapy, or for the people who just maybe doesn't affect as much. So on to our case study. It started at age 13. He had experienced 5 to 10 minute episodes of panic. He reports chest tightness, palpitations, derealization, and sweating. He also reports having anxiety over having another attack. So he already reached 2 of the criteria needed for panic disorder. These panic attacks were weekly. After he was properly diagnosed, treatment was 12 sessions of CBT, along with learning coping methods. His panic attacks reduced from once a week to once every 3 to 4 weeks, and that's when the article ended, so I can only hope he got better. Finally concluding, after examining history, symptoms, criteria, prevalence, costs, causes, and treatments, panic disorder can truly be debilitating, in addition with this major social cost it comes with. As highlighted by our case study, it's still a rather newly researched disorder, which can lead to being misdiagnosed and mistreated, as he was for 9 years. I can only imagine how much more we will discover in the coming years. But besides that is the end, and here are my citations. Thank you.